Guys, it was creeping up a little bit more, and now it's a lot of it.
This is why officials wanted you to take the opportunity to leave town if you could.
Yeah, guys, we're out here. You can see police actually had to move.
I can tell you guys the water is definitely out there. Let's go ahead and take a look at it.
River Street has completely come over the edge.
We can expect more feet of water, especially with this rain continuing to come down.
We gotta go, but wanted to let you know that this is how high the tide is. We're going to continue to keep you updated throughout the day. We're live WTOC News.
News is sponsored by Parker's.
Don't forget the ice, the Chewy Ice, now available in a big ice bag. Take one home today. See you at Parker's.
Live, local, now. This is the news at 6.
All new at 6.
Oh, I've never seen, like I said, I've been there all my life. I've never seen anything like this before.
Irma forced the Atlantic ashore and Tybee Island got in the way. Elizabeth Rawlins takes us through Tybee's turf-to-surf transformation as the tide surprises even those who thought they knew what was coming. Plus, a different kind of evacuation backup. Power is out at Bloomingdale's sewage treatment plant, the desperate attempt to get Georgia Power to make haste before the city is floating in waste.
We've had a triple whammy.
And another storm, another major blow to Fort Pulaski National Monument. We have an exclusive look inside the fort post-Irma. Strike 3 for the historic landmark. And good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. 3 natural disasters in less than 1 year. Fort Pulaski closed again indefinitely because of a hurricane.
Meteorologist Jamie Ertle is live at the entrance to the park. Jamie, you talked to park rangers who say they're staying positive about the future, though.
They really are, Dawn, and the park was closed for a month after Matthew, a month after the May EF2 tornado, and they think that they'll open in that sort of timeline. They're really positive. Now take a look at a brand new picture that we received from a park ranger. They've been around the fort via boat. This is a picture of them on ATVs, and you can't even get to the fort because of the water. The visitor center is on the right, the fort is in the foreground on the left, and you know the visitor center hasn't even opened since the EF2 tornado. Let's take a look at some of that boat video as they're touring around the fort, and you can see that the water is still very high. The water is so high that they cannot get into the fort at this time, even though they were trying to assess some of the damage. They need teams all over the country to come in. But we talked to a fort ranger out here who was manning the entrance gate, and he is very positive about this treasured national landmark.
The fort is built on a wooden foundation. Some of the pylons go 75 feet in the marsh mud. Salt water doesn't rot wood. It's fresh water that rots wood. The fresh water can't get to those pylons. They're basically embalmed in the marsh mud. So the architectural technology that they used to build the fort is the reason why it sustained so many years. Over 25 million bricks set on that wooden foundation. And she's a tough lady.
Ron is the man. He's been here since 1998, and he loves this place. Now, you're taking a look at the bridge to the actual fort, which is being replaced because of structural damage, and the old bridge took a beating as well, Ron told us. Now, this is how high the water got, and this is the entrance. So this is right between my knee and my thigh, so about 2 feet at the entrance, and then, of course, the tidal surge over Highway 80. We'll be on top of this and let you know the very latest on Fort Pulaski, but in the meantime, live on Tybee, Jamie Ertle, WTOC News.
Speaking of Tybee, business as usual there is what residents say they want. They're ready to go back.
Well, Highway 80 is open, and in spite of Irma, tourism continues with vacationers trying to take advantage of the remaining warm weather. Danielle Lewan joins us now live. Danielle, those crashing waves we love to hear so much at the beach today replaced by bulldozers and rakes, huh?
That's right, Dawn. Even though the summer season is over, beach vacations are still booked in a lot of rental homes out here. Restaurants are firing up grills, and homeowners tell me they have people checking in tomorrow.
Got quite the pile going here, huh? We got people coming tomorrow to rent the house, so I've been pressure washing, cleaning up, just trying to make it look rentable.
Sun is out, gloves are on. Tybee says renters will just have to be understanding.
We had a metal canopy going across all the way down, and it just peeled it all off.
This homeowner installed a surveillance system to keep an eye on his place. That was until Irma finally hit.
Up until the power went out, I was able to sit and sort of watch the progress of the storm, and I could look out at the street and say, okay, no, the surge hasn't hit yet, the surge hasn't hit yet. And then you could see the water starting to creep up, and then the power went out, and then I just had to sit and worry until people started sending me Facebook pictures.
His garage flooded with 18 inches of water.
And the kayaks actually floated, and we're sitting on top of other stuff that got washed up under them.
For some, employees are heading back into town and need the business.
They're all coming back sporadically, so I'm trying to get the inside to where they can just come in, hang their art, and be ready for business as usual.
At the end of the day, no matter the storm, they say they always bounce back.
We are Tybee strong and trying to get life back to normal for everyone here on the island.
If you are still headed back to Tybee after this evacuation, know that Highway 80 is open, and so are a lot of places out here. But know that there's still a lot of cleanup to do. You can see that right here. And know also that there's only a little bit of cell phone service and also internet signal. WTOC will keep you updated when everything out here is back to 100%. For now, reporting live on Tybee Island, I'm Danielle Lewan, WTOC News.
Well, thousands of you are still in the dark tonight, but extra crews are working extra hours to restore the electricity.
Yeah, a lot of extra crews. In fact, Georgia Power has 1,000 linemen from places like Texas, North Carolina, New Jersey, all in our area. This is a live look at the outage map. In Chatham County right now, 700 outages, including about 15,000 customers affected. Amanda LaBrot followed a crew today as they say, stay patient. They're getting to you.
Georgia Power crews like this one are out across Savannah trying to get the power back on for the thousands of you who lost it during Hurricane Irma. Georgia Power says about 65% of power is restored now in just the second full day of restoration work. Crews are working 16-hour shifts from 6 in the morning to 10 at night with two-person teams doing smaller jobs overnight. Lead lineman Donald Stevens has worked lots of disasters, including Hurricanes Katrina and Sandy, and says the damage here isn't too bad. But he knows it's frustrating to be without power. He says they're working as fast as they can, and if customers see them outside or in backyards, know they're checking power lines.
We have a lot of customers that ask questions. I mean, you know, that just takes a minute of your time. So that minute of your time, you're able not to do anything. So that would help if we didn't have so many customers asking, when my light's going to be on, when my light's going to be on, you know. But, I mean, it's a concern to them because they've been out of light for a while.
Stephen says he's pretty confident with the extra help they have coming in from other states. Most power should be restored by this weekend. In Savannah, Amanda LaBrot, WTOC News.
Now, checking out Canoochee EMC's outage map, crews are making progress. You can see there are just over 100 active outages now. Brunswick and Glenn County continue to climb from under Irma's damage.
Yeah, they're getting help from neighbors all across Georgia. Bureau Chief Dal Cannady joins us live from a food drop in Brunswick. And Dal, this is no small feat out there.
No, it is not, David. You consider they served up 3,000 plates at lunch, and they're serving up more as they get ready for supper. I am joined now by Brunswick's Mayor Cornell Harvey. Mayor, we have some footage of some of the damage around town. If you can briefly tell us, how extensive is this, and how are you all doing 2 days later?
Well, sir, the damage is catastrophic. It really, we had a lot of stormwater surge that was really bad for us. And it damaged a lot of trees down, power lines, power went out. But we're getting our crews out to help alleviate that problem. But it still is an issue for us. Joint water and sewer, which is our utility, is having issues with the infrastructure because some of their power are down. And that causing us to have those issues, but we are working on them 100%. We're trying to get the power back up, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to make sure that all our citizens are safe. That's the main thing for us.
From the challenges that you've got right now, if we can take a look behind us, these group from Statesboro coming down this morning, serving up 3,000 lunches. They're looking at doing close to that for dinner. They've got food bags they're giving out that folks in Statesboro bagged up. How much does this help?
it helped tremendously, and we are really, really proud of the people who come out to assist. We look at, they're a blessing to us, and that blessing has been passed on to our citizens here, and it's for our whole community. We always spoke about one voice, one community, but this community is coming together. We have from our neighbors coming to assist us as well. So this is tremendous, and we are so thankful for Lions Club from Statesboro to bring stuff down here to help us.
Mayor, thank you very much. They're going to be back out here tomorrow. They're going to be at Mary Ross Park doing the same thing all over again, help folks in need. Live in Brunswick, Dow Cannady, WTOC News.
Tybee Island knew Irma could pack a punch. No one ever expected the knockout that arrived. Elizabeth Rawlins was there when the surge raced across the beach and far beyond.
First alert weather, let's change gears. Almost to try to make you smile. That's a freeze watch up in the Pacific Northwest. Yep, the seasons will be changing eventually. Your first alert forecast is straight ahead on WTOC.
The conditions are just too dangerous to be out.
The wind is certainly picking up.
We're seeing these heavy winds that those meteorologists are telling you about.
Because things are getting pretty crazy.
It's not a good idea to be out on the road. Stay home, wait this thing out.
It's a story you're only going to see right here on WTOC. We are walking you through the 36 hours our crew spent on Tybee Island during the storm, their experiences before, during, and after Irma.
Our Elizabeth Rawlins finally made it off the island and joins us now. Elizabeth, you went out there knowing you could possibly be stuck for days.
Yeah, and the scariest part was the unknown. What type of damage would there be? How long would we be stuck without power? And how long would we actually just be stuck there? So we had to prepare and pack non-perishable food, water, lots of rain gear, and a generator to keep our batteries and cameras charged so that we can continue to be a part of the live coverage.
The island was a ghost town Sunday afternoon. Homes and businesses were already boarded up. Many had left, and some were hunkering down on the island. And from the beach, it was evident that the storm was quickly approaching.
The sand is literally just moving sideways across the beach.
But that was just the beginning. Conditions were getting worse by the minute.
When I went to get out of the car earlier, I thought it was locked. It actually wasn't. That's how much pressure was being pushed against the car. So it's starting to get pretty dangerous out here at this point.
At one point, we tied a rope around a tree just so I could hold on to it. But as we moved around the island, we quickly realized there was a big difference just being a block or two from the beach.
We've gone up and down and up and down. We hit a lull, and now things are kind of picking up again.
And just 2 hours later, the closest we could get to the beach was the parking lot near the pier because conditions were just too dangerous.
I'm actually having to brace against the storm at this point.
We could hear the winds howling all night, and by Monday morning, the entire island was without power, and we weren't venturing out past the front porch of the home where we were staying.
It maxes out around 8 feet, so.
We also started to see some damage.
You can see shingles are just in the yard there, strewn about.
Eventually, we ventured out to the beach, which was across the street from where we were staying.
Look how close the water is. So we're just a couple of feet from the water to the walkway. So we're definitely going to see that high tide today.
The water came fast and furious on Highway 80, nearly trapping us within seconds of arriving at the Lazaretto Creek Bridge.
This water is about to flood Highway 80. Our ride even had to leave because the police said, you got to go. We got to go, but wanted to let you know that this is how high the tide is.
This is what the beach looked like from our Tybee Island Skycam near Butler Avenue, and this was our view from the ground.
Wow, that was wow, water in my boots. We tried to make it out to Butler Avenue, but this water is coming in so fast, we're trying to dodge a bullet.
We never even made it to Butler Avenue that day because many of the roads were underwater, but we did talk to residents who had just witnessed the water take over their neighborhood.
Within maybe 15 minutes, this road was covered, and then it took about 30 minutes to cover all this.
And I just got done talking to a lady who said she's never seen flooding like this. They definitely didn't see this type of flooding during Hurricane Matthew.
And those whose homes flooded during Hurricane Matthew flooded again.
The ones on the left-hand side of Miller and Lewis Avenue, and from about 10th Street down to 18th Street, if they were on the ground, they totally flooded out all over again.
And all over again it was for Cliff Kevel.
After Matthew, we had about 3 feet of water, but this time we figured the surge might be worse, and sure enough, I've got 4 feet where I am.
It was also deja vu for residents on Lewis Avenue, but by Tuesday, the water had come and gone.
It's pretty dry behind me. There's a little bit of localized flooding.
Tuesday morning, we went on an exclusive ride-along with Mayor Jason Buelterman, who was able to see the flooding via helicopter immediately after the surge.
What I saw is evidence that things were much worse than they were, from a flooding perspective, than they were with Matthew.
And dry roads meant we could finally get down to see the damage near the pier for the first time.
You can see the balcony was completely wiped out from this top unit.
And down the street, the entire roof had been ripped off, flooding this building from top to bottom. By Tuesday afternoon, Highway 80 was back open, and Georgia Power was making progress.
In the last 10 minutes, businesses here on Tybee actually just got their power back. Those lights just came on.
And as our coverage on Tybee was coming to an end, it was evident this was just the beginning. For many, it felt like the button had just been reset. Some had just finished recovering from Hurricane Matthew just 11 months ago. And while it may be a setback, it's evident the strength and determination from this island community is stronger and more powerful than any hurricane.
With Matthew, we had a lot of that debris removal and a lot of wind damage. This time it's mainly that flooding, so a different type of recovery process that starts now. We're live from Tybee. Elizabeth Rawlins, WTOC News.
Now, the mayor has already been in contact with officials at the White House working with the federal government about getting funding for those whose homes were damaged. Dawn?
Well, we saw you on top of what I think it was a condo where they lost the balcony and a roof there. Was there any other physical damage around the island other than the serious flooding there?
Well, it was pretty concentrated to properties closest to the beach. We showed you those buildings. There was a portion of the boardwalk in that area that also washed away. Over on the north end of the island, there was also a little roof damage to some of those homes and properties over there.
All right, Elizabeth Rawlins, thank you for that report. Amazing to see what you went through over those 36 hours there on Tybee Island, but great coverage.
And thank you.
Yeah, a sewage crisis is happening in Bloomingdale. Next, the mayor spells out the problem and why Georgia Power is the only organization that can fix it.
Here's what you want to know. The updated track has just been issued by the Hurricane Center.
South Georgia, South Carolina, both bracing for the impact from Irma. And
we're all going to be impacted by Irma. We've got team coverage for you this morning.
Conditions have been like this throughout the night.
First alert right here.
We're going to gather all the information. We're going to have the latest for you.
Of course, we will keep you updated on air and online as the conditions change.
All new at 6, Bloomingdale leaders are making a desperate plea to Georgia Power to restore electricity to their residents as soon as possible. And it's more than just about lights turning back on. About 180 homes are using what's called a Griner sewage pump. Those pumps are electric, and without those pumps up and running, raw sewage either backs up into the homes or is dumped out into the environment.
We have an economic and an environmental issue here in Bloomingdale, and we really need to be looked at before people start getting sick or it gets even worse.
We're also hearing from Bloomingdale residents who say they've been without power since Monday afternoon. That report will be on the news at 11.
Right now, we've got your first alert forecast and watching some showers. You see the clouds that moved in as we came through the day. Little upper level piece of energy coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. Not a lot going here around Savannah. Got a pretty good shower down by Valdosta, but what I'm really watching is this line of showers that was impressive earlier, really raining itself out. Vidalia working its way towards Stillmore. It looks like it may not even make it over to Metter. Most of these showers are training right across the same area. No lightning's indicated with these cells. So I'm pretty sure there's no fear of anything severe at this point, but just be aware of that, especially if it gets you some locally heavy rainfall. Look at our 83, 79 Beaufort, where it rained, 79 Vidalia, 81 Brunswick, Hinesville at 80 degrees. The borough's currently at 81. Look at what it feels like. This is the humidity worked in, and it feels like it's 85 degrees. South winds here in the 95 quarter a little stronger, not quite as strong as you get farther inland, so that's an improvement there. We look at our first alert hour by hour, though. The shower chances seem to be still in place. I think our high-resolution computer models really kind of overdoing it over the evening hours, but this looks right for first thing tomorrow. Just some clouds in place. I don't think that'll be a big deal. River flooding from Irma. Reedsville, Claxton have both topped off. Canoochee and Ohoopee are falling now, but we're still worried about Atkinson in South Carolina. They've still got a ways to go. Up to a 17-foot crest is expected later. And any problems with fog tonight? Most of that will be farther inland, I'm sure. Look at the 1 mile visibilities. Don't see any zeros, but that's going to be a problem as we go through the night. So your forecast tonight, still shower chances, but just a 20% chance for tonight. 70 for a low. That's kind of warm, especially if you don't have any power. Light south breeze. 87 tomorrow. A mostly sunny day. There could be a renegade shower, but I think most of the day will be dry. Better chance of showers on Friday. 88, 89 on Saturday. Our best chance of showers, but that's down to a 30% chance now. 90s for Sunday and Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, looks like we might see some showers developing, but that's really kind of hit and miss at this point, especially from this distance. So watch for fog developing tonight. That could be a problem, especially inland. 70 will be the low. 87 tomorrow with mostly sunny skies. Get your free WTOC weather app. Get it on your smartphone so you're empowered with all the latest weather information from WTOC.
The WTOC Sports Desk is sponsored by the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail.
All right, with so many things on the sports calendar getting changed because of the effects of Hurricane Irma, it's evident that the Eagles' off week came at a great time. Georgia Southern is off this weekend as they do not get interrupted from practices, and it's a good time to reassess things after an 0-2 start. Georgia Southern coming off that 22-12 loss to New Hampshire and Birmingham's Legion Field. Now, one of the better things in the game for the Eagles was the performance of freshman quarterback Shy Wirtz, who rushed for 31 times, 131 yards, and threw for 93 yards. Now, the Eagles were supposed to stay in Birmingham through Tuesday, but when the storm shifted westward, they came back to Statesboro. They were back on the fields this afternoon.
Guys, it was creeping up a little bit more, and now it's a lot of it.
This is why officials wanted you to take the opportunity to leave town if you could.
Yeah, guys, we're out here. You can see police actually had to move.
I can tell you guys the water is definitely out there. Let's go ahead and take a look at it.
River Street has completely come over the edge.
We can expect more feet of water, especially with this rain continuing to come down.
We gotta go, but wanted to let you know that this is how high the tide is. We're going to continue to keep you updated throughout the day. We're live WTOC News.
Still some showers to watch for the evening. The clouds are kind of breaking up a bit, giving you perhaps some sunshine for the night. Don't count on a lot of quiet weather, though, that's for sure. 87 and mostly sunny for tomorrow. Less chance of any showers than 88, 89. Maybe Saturday has a chance of showers and thunderstorms later in the day.
Still seeing a radar map that looks like that. It's nice.
Much better.
It's just
After
nice.
Irma, it's wonderful.
Yeah. Have a great evening, everyone.
Sure, thank you.